Roll out the red carpet and get your acceptance speech.
We've got your Backstage Pass to Hollywood. Backstage Pass starts now. Hi everyone, welcome to a brand new episode of Backstage Pass, where we give you the insider scoop on everything entertainment. I'm Ryan Wall.
And I'm Callie Corson. We've got a juicy show for you, but before we delve into the gossip, let's take a look at what movies topped the box office this past week.
Rounding out the top 5 was The Greatest Showman with over $113 million grossed. Coming in at number 4 was The Post with around $12 million just this weekend. Coming in at number 3 was Den of Thieves with number 2 with 12 strong with $16 million in its first week. And number 1 in the box office this weekend was Jumanji, Welcome to the Jungle. So.
I went to the movies this past weekend,
and
I took part in that. I went and saw The Post, and I thought it was so good just because, like, I love history, so any kind of history movie I like. And obviously, we work in communications, so it's so cool to see how ethics really plays a role in the real world, in the workplace.
Yeah. What did you think about, like, Meryl Streep and Tom Hanks and everyone?
I thought they both portrayed their character very well. I feel like Meryl Streep did a great job at showing how, like, her job as just the owner wasn't as important to the men in the movie at that time in history. But towards the end, when she, like, stood up for herself and, sorry, giveaway, stood up for herself and really just proved the point that, like, she was the owner and she had to take charge. So I thought that was really cool.
Yeah, I mean, I know that movie has been, like, very hyped up because, you know, of all the star power involved. But another movie that obviously did very well was Jumanji.
Yes.
Which, I mean, had its own star power, but I think had a different, it's not as serious, a little bit more fun.
Yeah, for sure. It's, like, on a lighter note, more funny.
Yeah, and plus, like, it's a recreation, so it's like, you know.
Who did it better?
Yeah, exactly. That's always this talk when you have, like, sequels and stuff like that.
Yeah, of course. Let's see the movies coming out in the next couple of weeks.
Coming out January 26th is Maze Runner: The Death Cure. This is the third and final installment in the Maze Runner film series. Its debut is delayed by nearly a year to allow for actor Dylan O'Brien to recover from injuries he sustained during filming. Directed by Wes Ball, the film follows Thomas, Newt, and Frypan to rescue their friend Minho, who is being held by the organization Wicked as they try to find a cure for the deadly disease called the Flare. To save their friends, they need to break into the last city in the middle of a deadly maze controlled by Wicked. Will they make it out alive? Will they save their friends? Find out in the trailer for Maze Runner: The Death Cure.
The Post is a political thriller that follows the true story of the Washington Post as it worked to publish the Pentagon Papers. Set in the early 1970s, the film has earned rave reviews for its portrayal of a pivotal moment in American history. It stars Meryl Streep as Katharine Graham, the socialite turned newspaper owner, and Tom Hanks as Ben Bradley, the editor-in-chief of the Washington Post. The decision to publish the damaging Pentagon Papers would be tantamount to professional suicide for Graham, who views the Post as her family legacy. It could bring legal charges against everyone involved, but on the other side, it could establish the Post as a leading newspaper. Against the advice of Bradley and other editors, Graham makes the decision to take the gamble. While history will tell us that the film is already garnering awards season chatter due to its timely discussion of the role of the media as a watchdog. See more in the trailer for The Post, out now.
Taraji P. Henson is Proud Mary, a successful hitwoman from an organized crime family based in Boston. Everything goes awry when a professional hit goes bad, and she's forced to care for the boy she leaves orphaned. The film also stars Billy Brown, Danny Glover, Xander Berkeley, Neil McDonough, and Margaret Avery. It opened to mixed reviews, with some critics praising Henson's ability but pinning the movie overall. What do you think? Catch Proud Mary in theaters now. So Proud Mary had like this really weird reaction in the media because Taraji P. Henson was being praised for her ability to like carry this role, but ultimately critics felt that it didn't really like work out in the end. What do you think?
Yeah, I was a little surprised because I feel like lead women characters have been really important lately. So I assumed this was going to like take control over the box office, but like you said, critics were not agreeing with that whole.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's also weird because like we've seen a lot of billboards for that. It's been very hyped up. Actually, it's been getting a lot of bad flack too because the songwriter for Proud Mary, which you know Tina Turner made super popular, he doesn't feel that that song should be used in the commercials and the advertising because he doesn't think that it represents, the movie doesn't represent what the song stands for, which I think is kind of just,
that's crazy.
Yeah, it like adds a weird layer of like negativity, but I think Taraji P. Henson's a great actress.
Yeah, so do I, which that does suck that she got the bad reviews, but I'm sure there's still people who enjoyed the movie and did think the song may have represented the Proud Mary symbol.
Yeah, so over the break, another movie that was doing really well was The Greatest Showman.
Yes, with Zac Efron.
Yeah, I know you love Zac
I love
Efron.
Zac Efron.
But they've been getting some critical buzz too, and Hugh Jackman was in that as well.
Yes, he's great.
And of course Zendaya and like
everyone that's all up and coming.
Yeah, but you know, as we're starting to enter award season, as with The Post.
Oh yeah.
Like it's starting to get.
Have their eye on what they want.
Yeah, and I think that's funny when you like juxtapose those types of movies against movies that aren't necessarily as serious, like Jumanji or like Maze Runner.
Which they can still make a ton of money and people will still love it, but they'll never be put up for an award. And that's just how it goes.
Yeah. So there's no better way to start off the first show of the new year than talking about Mariah Carey's New Year's Eve performance. Singer Mariah Carey redeemed herself on New Year's Eve following her widely panned performance last year. In 2017, the singer did not attend rehearsals and embarrassed herself as she showed minimal effort to perform her hits. At one point, she gave up and stopped singing altogether, standing on stage as the supporting vocals played. This year, Carey didn't take anything for granted, performing in freezing temperatures in a thin dress. By all accounts, she did much better than last year, and broadcasted her diva status when she described how she would go on singing despite there not being any tea for her to warm up. Overall, her performance put her back in the public's good graces, for now.
Sticking with famous singers, Fall Out Boy came out with their new album, Mania, and Jerry Chipotia is here to give you the details.
Fall Out Boy has released their brand new album, Mania, and Sugar, they aren't going down because these tracks are pretty decent. What makes this album great is that the band had the ability to incorporate mainstream pop into many of their songs, all while staying true to their traditional rock sound. You can certainly tell Fall Out Boy is trying out different sounds to see which ones their fans will take to the most. For my taste, Hold Me Tight or Don't, that was my favorite example of their pop incorporation. It's very upbeat, and it sounds like a rock song that could even be played in a dance club. Many of their tracks reflected a certain issue, such as regret, heartache, and rejection, but they are far from making you feel down. While tackling such issues, comical lines are even thrown in. They aren't meant to be taken seriously, but they show us that any situation can be made more bearable with humor. With that being said, I totally recommend this album. Well, that's my pick for this week. My name is Jerry Chipotia, and I'll see you next time.
Thanks, Jerry. Before we get to all that's going on in the television world, it's time to discuss the Golden Globes. On Sunday, January 7th at the Beverly Hilton Hotel, the 75th annual Golden Globes were handed out. Let's take a look at some of the winners. On the TV front, HBO's hit miniseries, Big Little Lies, took home the most awards of the night with 4. Best Actress in Limited Series for Nicole Kidman, Supporting Actor in a Series for Alexander Skarsgård, Supporting Actress in a Series, Laura Dern, and Best Limited Series or TV Movie. Two streaming giants also walked away with big wins. Amazon Prime's The Marvelous Mrs. Maisel walked away with the Best Series Comedy or Musical Award, and its star, Rachel Brosnahan, received the Best Actress in a Comedy or Musical Series Award. On the drama front, Hulu's The Handmaid's Tale swept up 2 awards, one for its star Elizabeth Moss in the Best Actress Drama category, and the show won the Best Drama Series Award. Other major awards went to Aziz Ansari for Best Actor in a Comedy Series for the Netflix show Master of None, and Sterling K. Brown for Best Actor in a Drama Series in the NBC tearjerker This Is Us. In the film categories, 3 billboards outside Ebbing, Missouri took home 4 awards, including one for its star Frances McDormand for Best Actress and the Best Film Drama. The comedy Lady Bird also won 2 awards for its star Saoirse Ronan for Best Actress and Best Film Comedy or Musical. Other film awards went to Disney hit Coco for Best Animated Feature. Best Director went to Guillermo del Toro. Gary Oldman won for Best Actor in a Drama for his role in Darkest Hours for Winston Churchill. And James Franco won Best Actor in a Comedy or Musical for his role as Tommy Wiseau in The Disaster Artist.
Enough about the awards received, it's time to talk about fashion. The 75th Golden Globes was full of beautiful fashion. We all know the little black dress cannot go out of style, and those who attended sure proved that point. There were so many stylish ensembles worn by Hollywood's best. These stars prove that there are endless ways to wear black and still stand out. Lots of stars wore their hair very sleek and put together while pairing the look with natural dewy makeup. Penelope Cruz worked an off-the-shoulder lace gown which complemented her figure perfectly. Katherine Langford went for a more smoky eye to match her custom Prada gown. I was a big fan of the embellished center. I could go on forever discussing each woman's gown, but then there wouldn't be time to give the men credit. The men looked very nice in their black suits as well, and Steve Carell looked spiffy with his nicely trimmed facial hair.
Spiffy, that's a good word. So I want to talk about Big Little Lies, because I started watching that over break.
You did?
And I'm like 3 or 4 episodes in, and it's like really cool. It's really intense, because like I honestly don't really know like what the murder is yet, and it's only a couple episodes long.
Okay.
But they're very good at like keeping you in suspense.
Ooh, that sounds good.
Yeah.
I mean, I've heard great things about it.
Yeah, so it was also kind of interesting because right after they announced the nominations for this, they announced that there would be a 2nd season.
Well, that's something to look forward to.
Which is like great for fans, but it invalidates the fact that it's like a limited run, which is the category that it ended up winning.
Oh.
So a lot of other producers were a little ticked off at them.
Yeah, because now they're not a limited run anymore, so they should have given it to someone who was.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And then I also love The Handmaid's Tale, so I'm very glad that
Well,
won.
it was a good Golden Globes for you then.
Yes. So among the celebrities in the room, media mogul Oprah Winfrey seemed to be the topic of conversation throughout the evening. Winfrey was honored with the Cecil B. DeMille Award that evening, which is given to someone who makes outstanding contributions to the world of entertainment. Winfrey gave a powerful acceptance speech, which sounded almost like she wanted to jump in the political arena and run for president. Winfrey addressed the Me Too movement and all the women affected. She talked to girls saying, quote, "I want all girls watching to know a new day is on the horizon." This particular quote made the audience stand from their seats and applaud. As the night concluded, social media started blowing up with posts about Winfrey possibly running for president in 2020. The day after the award ceremony, news broke that Winfrey was actively thinking about a 2020 run. Winfrey's longtime friend, CBS This Morning's Gayle King, was asked about her friend's intentions. Gayle said, "I'm thinking she's not going to be running for president. She's very intrigued, but this is not something she's considering right now." When Winfrey's longtime partner, Stedman Graham, was asked if she would run, he said, quote, "She would absolutely do it." As of today, Oprah Winfrey has not made any official announcements and has not commented on all of the buzz surrounding her.
Speaking of someone being surrounded by the buzz, it's time for the rundown on the Kardashian and Jenner fam. As always, the Kardashian Jenner family captivated the spotlight in December and January with baby drama. After months of speculation, Khloe finally announced she was pregnant, but offered no comment on whether her sister Kylie was pregnant as well. Curiosity peaked when Kylie did not appear on any of the family's annual Christmas cards, orchestrated by Kris Jenner, our chief of Kardashian Our chief of Kardashianologists, Katie Middlelow, commented, quote, "I am in awe of Kris Jenner's ability to manipulate the media. Every time one question is answered, 3 more arise. She's an evil genius who keeps us wanting more. We all know just Kylie is pregnant, just tell us," quote. Meanwhile, Kim and Kanye welcomed daughter Chicago, named after Kanye's hometown, with a simple tweet. The girl who will go by the nickname Shy was delivered via surrogate in mid-January.
So what were your thoughts about all of this turmoil over break?
Well, I'm so excited that Khloe finally announced that she was pregnant, even though we all knew it. But I'm still very angry that Kylie has no comment. And did you see the picture that just got posted today? She's covering her stomach, and everyone else's was open.
I think it's funny though, because as like our friend contributor Katie commented, like we all know it.
Yeah.
Like it would be like the most random thing if like, oh no, I was just coincidentally like covering it up. But I think that that's what her point was about, like the fact that Kris Jenner is like controlling it. Also though, I think it's incredible that like she's gone so many months without being photographed.
Yeah, I feel like the one edited photo I saw online was her in the drugstore, and that was right before Kim's surrogate had her babies, so who knows?
Now it's time to delve into some Netflix. If you're looking for a bingeable show to watch as the spring semester slowly ramps up, look no further than Netflix's The Crown. The historical recreation of Queen Elizabeth's reign had its second season debut in December, earning rave reviews. In this season, our heroine, played by Claire Foy, finds herself dealing with an unruly and potentially unfaithful Prince Philip, played by Matt Smith. Philip and Elizabeth's relationship would be the most captivating arc of the season, setting the stage for several conflicts and considerable drama. Meanwhile, Princess Margaret, played by Vanessa Kirby, deals with her own drama as she tries to navigate the heartbreak she endured last season after she was not allowed to marry her sweetheart. She seems to find a soulmate, but the relationship proves to be as equally scandalous as the one before. The Crown shows us another side to the royal family, giving us a glimpse behind the gilded gates of Buckingham Palace. Sadly, fans will have to wait a whole year for the third season to premiere, and they'll be joined by an entirely new cast who will take over as the characters continue to age.
Now that we covered a Netflix fan favorite, let's switch to cable. After the much-anticipated Flora Bamba Shore aired on MTV for a season which included 9 episodes, the show shared some similarities with the original MTV hit Jersey Shore, such as going to the gym and laying on the beach. But overall, the cast attempted to steer away from the party-crazy image. This attempt didn't really work out as some of the cast may have planned. The group of young guys and girls engaged in one too many fights during the 9 weeks they were living together. The girls and guys had a lot of beef throughout the season, not only with each other, but with locals at the bar. Viewers were able to watch the group of roommates develop into real friends as the season progressed. They referred to each other as family quite often, even after some of their worst fights. Flora Bamba Shore was for sure a hit, and we are hoping for a season 2 next summer.
Are we though? Break out the PJs and grab your besties for a new season of The Bachelor. The reality show that follows one bachelor/bachelorette as they set out on their journey to find love amongst 29 hopeful contestants is back for season 22. This season highlights Bachelor Ari Leon-Dyke Jr., a former contestant on the series from 6 years ago. Despite the show's history of selecting previous seasons' runners-up and fan-favorite contestants as eligible bachelors and bachelorettes, fans are not pleased about Ari becoming the new hopeful bachelor seeking to find love. According to People magazine, fans had their hearts set on seeing Peter, the runner-up on the previous season of The Bachelor, find love instead. However, the producers felt that he was not emotionally ready yet to find love again, allowing them to set their sights on Ari. Ari is a 36-year-old race car driver who also sells real estate in his hometown of Scottsdale, Arizona. He hopes to find love and settle down after being eliminated on season 8 of The Bachelorette. The Bachelor airs on Mondays at 8 o'clock on ABC. So where to even begin? A lot of TV.
I love Flora Bamba Shore.
I did too. I watched it, and like, it's so trashy, but like,
yes, it is.
I don't know. It's no Jersey Shore.
No,
it never will
It will
be.
never compare to that. Jersey Shore's the best.
I mean, also, I think that there was a little bit of like stereotyping going on, like there was in Jersey Shore.
There was, and I mean, hey, it needs to be talked about. It happens, and if you can do it in a humorous way on TV to get people connected, I feel like do it. But some of the comments made were like just very ignorant, and there was a lot of issues.
Yeah. So unfortunately, that does it for this episode of Backstage Pass. We hope you had as much fun watching it as we did producing it.
If you have any questions or comments about the show, visit us on our super awesome website, lasalle.edu/LaSalleTV. On the website, you can find the schedule and more information about the shows. You can email us at lasalletv@lasalle.edu.
And don't forget to follow us on social media. Like us on Facebook at facebook.com/LaSalleTV. You can also find us on Twitter at LaSalleTVPhilly or BP_LaSalle. We love to continue the discussion after the show, so don't hesitate to tweet at us. For Backstage Pass, I'm Ryan Wall.
And I'm Callie Corson. On behalf of myself and the entire Backstage Pass team, have a great day, and we'll see you next time.
And let's go Eagles!
Go Eagles!
Woo! Bye.